Hey everyone out there. This feels a little weird. I usually don't go live. I'm usually in the kitchen, pre-recording my content, but it's the first time. Let's try it out and see who joins us. Be nice to see who joins us live. Hmm, Make sure my settings are on. Gotta go put gas in the car too. Yeah. Hey, so for those of you who are just joining, hi, I'm Pat. I'm a content creator and a chef. I usually don't do the lives. Oh, looks like we got somebody to join the live. Hey friend, how's it going? This is my first time going live, so bear with me. Usually I'm in the kitchen cooking or most of my content is pre-recorded, but I thought I'd take the time to speak to everybody who follows me and supports my channel, have a little Q&A, just, shoot the breeze, talk. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Um, Let me know where y'all are from. Let's have a chat and let's talk. It feels kind of weird because it's like I'm literally talking to myself and nobody's here to reciprocate that. But I guess that's what you got to get used to when you talk on live. You got to just talk and just hope that someone comes in and joins in on the conversation. But as with most lives, I've heard this is actually going to be recorded and put on my channel. So might as well have a little conversation with myself and let y'all know what I got. So actually, before I do that, I'm in North Carolina right now. My grandmother wanted to come and spend some time with me. I'm actually going to drive her back to Delaware tomorrow, but came down to visit her, see some of the family members down here, and also check out some of the food spots. One of the food spots that I wanted to try out was Cookout. I heard a lot of great things about it. Keith Lee actually came down here a couple of weeks ago, and there's a whole controversy about what his cookout order was. So I had to make sure I got right and spoke to some of the locals and asked what their cookout orders were. I love milkshakes. I had I had to think about what kind of milkshake I wanted because I heard people saying that, sometimes they'll get the strawberry cheesecake milkshake, they'll want the banana pudding milkshake. I got myself a nice little strawberry cheesecake milkshake right here. I've been looking forward to it. Who that? Hey, what's going on, Keisha? Calling you Keisha like I don't know who you are. But yeah, like I was saying before, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Thank you for joining the live. I just figured, I take the time out to talk to everybody, have a little Q&A session. I'm usually in the kitchen cooking or recording content, so I figured it'd be nice to just sit back, have a conversation, and that's it. Just shoot the breeze with everybody. And I know some of you are going to be like, "Well, who's this person I'm talking to?" Well, for starters, my wife is in here. Well, not here with me, but she's actually joining the live. So I appreciate that she's the first person to join the live and support. And if you see this, because it's going to be recorded later on my channel, make sure you go follow her YouTube page, Keisha underscore Keish. That's KESHIA underscore KEESH. Really good lifestyle content, really good day in the life content, lots of good coloring content as well. And no, I didn't get paid to say that. That came naturally. So make sure you go support her. And for those of y'all who just joined the live, let me know where y'all from in the comments. Also, thank you for joining. I really do appreciate this because this is really weird. Like I feel like I'm talking to myself. And I'm a certified yapper, so I know I talk a lot, but it's weird because there's nobody to reciprocate the energy with me. It's just literally me talking to a camera and hoping that somebody interacts. But as with anything, you kind of got to get used to talking on live and talking to the camera and kind of building your audience. So this may get one person to join. That's perfectly fine. The next one maybe get two. The one after that may get three or four. But as with anything, you got to be consistent and keep it going. Plus, which this is going to be on my channel recorded, so somebody's going to eventually see it and get to talk to me a little bit later. Oof, it is surprisingly hot. I can't even say it's surprisingly hot because one, I'm in the South. I'm in North Carolina right now. I also have a hoodie on. I didn't dress appropriately for the weather. I did and I didn't because I have a hoodie on, but I also have shorts. So you got to kind of have that balance of the hoodie and the shorts. So you're hot one moment, you could take the hoodie off, and you get cold, you put the hoodie back on. Mm. What you got going on today? Ooh, more people are joining the live. Hey, friends, thank you so much for supporting. I'm just here chilling, trying to get more comfortable going on live, talking to you guys a little bit more than just the cooking content because so many people they love the cooking content, they love to see the recipes, but I feel like I don't show my personality or talk to you guys enough on live or outside the kitchen. So I'm trying to do that a little bit more now. Get more comfortable behind the camera. I think I'm doing pretty good. It's only been 5 minutes, but I'm pretty sure people will come along. That's what these lives are for. It's awfully quiet in this area too. I had to make sure I got into a quiet room so YouTube wouldn't give me any copyright strikes. I'm actually at my grandmother's house visiting in North Carolina. They're in the room. I don't know why she watches this show. It baffles me, but she's actually watching Pop the Balloon, and I don't want all that noise in the background to interfere with the live. But yeah, I'm in here just chilling right now. Don't know if y'all heard me earlier, but I went to Cookout for the first time. Very excited about that. I've been trying to go to Cookout for the last year. On my Threads page, which if you're not following me on Threads, it's Cooking with Patley also. But I posted a poll just getting people's ideas on what kind of orders do they get from Cookout. Some people said burgers, some people said chili dogs. Ooh, excuse me. I gotta edit that out. Some people said chili dogs, some people said burgers, quesadillas. They're widely known for their milkshakes, but they have like 45 different flavors, and I couldn't think for the life of me what flavor I wanted. I know when I initially went there, I wanted a banana pudding milkshake, but I just actually got back from dinner and they gave me banana pudding for dessert. And I was like, well, I do kind of want something else. So I got the strawberry cheesecake milkshake. I've been tearing it up ever since. It is so good. I know I told my wife that we would come down here one day to just try out the food, but I don't think she's going to want to come all the way down to North Carolina for a milkshake. Then again, I don't know, because some people will do a lot of things for the sweet treats. Like we've definitely traveled places just to get the food. So I wouldn't be surprised if we found a cookout. I mean, hopefully they have one closer. I do think they actually have them in Virginia, so I don't think she would mind us driving that far. But to go to North Carolina for a milkshake, no, I can't see that happening. Hmm. But if you're just joining the live, let me know in the comments where y'all from. I would love to know where my audience is at. Just to let y'all know where I'm from, I'm originally from New York, Brooklyn, of course. I currently live in Delaware. I'm known in Delaware and Philly and Jersey. Right now, I'm actually visiting North Carolina, visiting my grandmother. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to know where you guys are from. Love to know, what you're currently doing. Let's have a chat. Also, if you're new to my page, make sure you subscribe. I post a lot of easy and approachable recipes that you and your family can make at home. I know now it's, tough for a lot of families out there who are struggling with making ends meet and trying to figure out what they're going to do for their dinner on a day-to-day basis. But I like to do simple meals that a kid could make themselves or meals that a busy family of four can make in under 30 minutes. That's the kind of content I like to do. So if you're into that type of content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I put recipes, I wouldn't say daily. I try my best to put recipes on YouTube daily, but I'd probably say maybe like 4 times out of the week I upload videos, usually a few shorts, one long form video a week. But I'd like to get content out on a regular basis just to make sure that you have something simple and easy to cook at home. Also, if you go to my website, cookingwithpatley.com, every single recipe that I talk about on YouTube, on all of my socials, I put there. Once this video goes up, I'll put a link in the description so you can go ahead and find my recipes. But yeah, I do want to talk about cooking at some point during this live, but obviously, I want to talk about something else aside from cooking because I want you guys to know a little bit more about me. So if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to talk about, let me know in the comments. Let's talk. What are some things we can talk about? Any sports fans out there? Shout out to the Knicks. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a diehard Knicks fan. And for us to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, that's a birthday present in itself right there for me personally. I've been a Knicks fan since Patrick Ewing, since I was a little kid. And ever since I was a kid, I've always hoped that the Knicks could make it to the championship. And every time we get close, we get like 5 steps back. But I think we have a really good shot this year. I don't want to jinx myself. I don't want to, put all of our eggs in one basket, but I think we got a chance of taking the championship this year. Hi to everybody who just joined the live. Thank you. Let's take a look here. Where is everybody from? hmm Ooh, I actually did have something I wanted to talk about, and I don't know how controversial this is because I wouldn't say it's controversial, but how many of y'all have tried the Dubai chocolate bars or the Dubai chocolate strawberries? Let me know because I actually had it for the very first, I can't say the very first time. I actually had, yeah, I had it for the very first time, I would say about 2 weeks ago or so. And when I had the chocolate bar, mm, it left a lot to be desired. There wasn't enough pistachio, there wasn't enough filling, it just tasted like milk chocolate. So then when I shared my experience about the bar, everybody said, "Oh, I didn't have the right chocolate. I didn't have the right Dubai chocolate bar." All right, cool. So then my wife and I, we just came back from the Wilmington Street Food Festival. We had the chocolate strawberries there. Again, it left a lot to be desired. The chocolate hardened. It wasn't any pistachio paste. It wasn't that good. So then, third time's the charm. We actually found a spot in Newark, Delaware. I want to say it's called Berry's Cafe. I'll get the name of it and put it in the description for you guys later. But I actually had the chocolate. The bar was okay. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was definitely overhyped. And that's one of the issues that I have with a lot of trends in food on social media is that the internet blows it out of proportion. Yeah, it's good for what it is. It tasted okay, but it wasn't something that I felt like I'd have to go out of my way and buy. You know what I mean? And to pay almost $10 or more for a bar in this economy is insane to me. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if anybody agrees with my opinion. But have any of you ever tried the Dubai chocolate bars or the Dubai chocolate strawberries? Let me know in the comments because I have to know if I'm the one, if I'm overreacting by thinking that it's overrated, or maybe I just haven't had a good one yet. Mind you, like I said, I had three of them already. I had two chocolate bars and I had the chocolate covered strawberries. Actually, no, no. I'll say that. I'll say four because I had two of the bars. We had the chocolate strawberries at the festival, and then my wife, when we went to Barry's Cafe, she actually bought the chocolate strawberries again, and it was okay. So yeah, that's 4 times I've had it, and I wasn't impressed. But if you've had it, let me know in the comments. Also, if you didn't know, I do food reviews also. We travel to different states from time to time, locally, for the most part because of the economy, but we also travel to different states to try out the food. So if you have any recommendations for spots you want us to try out, let me know in the comments too. Up the Confederation. I have no idea what that means, but I'm gonna leave that one to you. Hmm. Homeboy said free Diddy. We don't do that around here. Oh, I can actually moderate. Nice. Well, you can't post on this channel anymore. Bye bye, bitch. Yeah, they might flag me for that, but we don't support Diddy around here. You got to go. I love trolls. I love when they come to your page and then they think they're gonna, throw you off guard with the comment. Trolls don't seem to realize all you do is just feed me energy. You give me engagement. And I tell that to any content creator and anybody who does this, whether you're doing a live, whether you post a video and you're reading comments, trolling doesn't hurt me. Okay? Because all you're doing is giving my product visibility. All you're doing is letting people know, hey, I exist. So even if your comment is negative, it still gets people's eyes on me. So whether you like me, whether you don't like me, whether you love the stuff that I post, whether you hate the stuff that I post, the bottom line of that is posted. It's there. And all you're doing is giving me visibility, which means you're going to give me money. So when I take my wife out to a nice steak dinner, I'm going to thank you, troll. I appreciate you. What else can we talk about today? Any ice cream spots that y'all recommend? Ooh, I got so hyped today. We went to a grocery store today in North Carolina, and I don't I gotta remember the name, and I gotta reach out to my wife and ask her. But I think I saw those ice cream bars that she was looking for. I could be completely wrong, and I don't want to gas her up. So if she's still watching this, don't get your hopes up. I mean, realistically, I can't give it to you anyway because it's a 6 hour trip back home. So yeah, but we'll find a place that has them. I just had to let her know that just in case they did have it, and I can try it out. But then I'd feel guilty for getting it because she's the one who wanted the ice cream. I didn't. So how messed up would that be if I was the one to try it? Weckerly's. Okay. Yeah, it definitely wasn't that. The word began with like a B, so it definitely wasn't that. So you're in the clear. You're good. It wasn't that. Oof, it is hot. What else can we talk about while we're on this live? Um, so just a little bit about me. I guess we could talk about that. So as you know, I'm a chef, private chef at that, caterer, content creator. I kind of took a break from the catering and the private chef work that's focused on food content creation. The area that I live in isn't really in demand when it comes to people wanting private chefs and content caterers. So I decided to focus more so on the content creation side. I've been doing content creation for the past 5 years, mostly focusing on simple, easy meals and showing people how to cook everyday items. I can cook a lot of fancy things like Michelin star level food, restaurant style food, but I've learned over the past few years that the average home cook and the average social media viewer, they don't really care if you can julienne a carrot. They don't care how fancy you make your plate. All they care about is, hey, my family's hungry. I need something to eat in 30 minutes or less. What can I make? So whenever they scroll the channels on, whatever social media channel they use, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they're looking for those types of meals. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, I can show you, fancy cooking techniques and fancy meals. But realistically, how is that going to help somebody who needs a 30-minute meal to feed their 4 kids? And I kind of changed the direction of my content because I'm a father myself, I'm a husband, and I feel the same exact way. Sometimes I get busy with recording content with other things around the house, everyday life, and I don't have but 30 minutes to make a meal. So if I don't have that kind of time and I'm a chef, I know the average person working a 9 to 5 job plus taking care of their kids isn't going to have that kind of time themselves. So it only makes sense that, you know, to stay relatable, to help out, my fellow, community and also people who need these types of recipes, it would make sense that I, kind of direct my focus about cooking simple meals. So when you visit my page, it looked like it was initially all over the place at first because I would cook different things, but now it's a little bit more balanced. I like to cook a lot more simple recipes and cook things that you can make every single day, and I feel proud about that. I have, teenagers who are either just graduating high school or just starting college who message me and tell me that I've given them, the first recipes to cook. I I've had people who've, been cooking for years tell me that they learned new techniques. Like one technique that I helped out that showed somebody that actually went viral on social media was a way to mass cook lasagna noodles without actually having to boil them or put them in the oven to boil. It was just simply just pouring boiling water over them. But little simple things like that I like to do to help people empower themselves in the kitchen. And I feel like that's something that, you know, we can't take for granted. Cooking, in my opinion, is an essential skill that everybody should know. And you don't necessarily have to cook a Michelin star dinner, but if you like to know how to cook a chicken breast properly without it drying out, or if you want to cook a steak to a perfect temperature, I'm your guy. And if that's the kind of content that you want to see, come and subscribe. Welcome to the community. Join the community here. I love people who love talking about food. I love to help people learn how to cook. That's what it's all about. And I just saw a few people who just joined the live, so I'm going to say hi to you as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting this channel. Um, as I said, I'm here to just talk. Nothing in particular, whatever comes to mind. I don't really have an agenda. I guess I've been out of corporate America for so long. I feel like anytime I have a meeting, there has to be something on the table, some type of agenda to talk about. But really, this is just Q&A. This is for you guys to get to know me, know a little bit more about me, to interact with you. This is more so, beyond the kitchen. I feel like I talk so much about food. You always see me in the kitchen making recipes, but I wanted to take this time to, of course, go on live more and to socialize, for lack of a better term. So yeah, drop a hi in the comments, show some love. Let's talk. I'll be here for a minute. So, what else can we talk about? I feel like I need a vacation. It's been awfully too long. Any vacation spots I recommend? It could be anywhere in the United States. It could be anywhere out the country. We are trying to take a carnival cruise. Well, not it doesn't necessarily have to be carnival. I mean, we probably will because budget reasons. But we're trying to take a cruise for our anniversary in October. It'll be our second year wedding anniversary, so we wanted to do something special, go on a cruise. My wife has been talking about these burgers at Guy Fieri's restaurant forever, since we first started dating. And I heard from her and so many of my friends that the burgers are like the best thing to have at the cruise. So I'm gonna take their word for it. I really want to try these burgers out. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff to do on the cruise, but that's the main selling they've given me is these burgers. But going off track here. The point was that I'm actually thinking of we're looking for stuff to do for vacation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cruise. It could be someplace popular in the city or state that you live in. It could be a museum. It could be an attraction that makes your city popular. If y'all can recommend some spots or some things for me to do in your states and cities, let me know. Would love to come and visit. Also, let me know some of the food spots out there. Just to kind of give you guys an idea on some of the places that I've been to that I actually would recommend food wise. There's New Orleans for one. New Orleans food slaps. The po' boys are good. Willie's Chicken Shack was good. There was another spot that I went to. I gotta remember the name. It'll come back to me. Excuse me. They actually had char grilled oysters that I wanted to try, but I'll figure that out. Houston had some really good food. Chicago has really good food. San Francisco also had good food. Vegas did well. hmm, Vegas was okay. I think the issue with Vegas is that we've been there, I want to say 3 or 4 times. So the first time we went to Vegas, the food was really good. Everything was hitting. The next 2 times that we went, the food was average. It wasn't that great, but it wasn't bad. The third time we went to Vegas, we actually had Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips, and that was probably the worst thing I had at Vegas. Like I don't get the hype behind the fish and chip scene. It's like his food is greasy. It's cooked all in the same oil. It has no flavor to it whatsoever. Yeah, for some strange reason, people always hype Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips. Hell's Kitchen, though. Hell's Kitchen is a really good restaurant. I will give him that. The risotto and the beef Wellington, chef's kiss. But Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips, 100% ass. You can take that to the bank. I say that with every bone in my body. Fourth time we went to Vegas was when we got married. Food was good, was okay there too. But we went to this restaurant called Din Tai Fung. Din Tai Fung sets the standard for any Thai restaurant out there. Like the food was amazing. When I tell you amazing, we think about this food all the time. We if we had the time, we would literally plan a whole entire trip out there just to go to Din Tai Fung twice. That's how good the food is. San Francisco also has good food. Chinatown has good food. Go. There's a spot out there called La Taqueria that has some really, really good tacos. I only heard bad things when Gordon Ramsay opened DC. Um, which restaurant did you hear? Because I know the fish and chips restaurant that he has in DC got really bad reviews, and I don't blame you. I know his steakhouse and his burger house. I've never actually been, but I heard pretty decent things about it. I heard great things about all the Hell's Kitchen restaurants that he has. So that's the only one that I can vouch for. But the other ones, I can't really say that they're great. But yeah, um, yeah, San Francisco was good. Uh, La Taqueria was good. There's a chicken spot that we went to. Hot Sauce and Panko. That's what the name of it was. It's a chicken spot called Hot Sauce and Panko, and they make really good wings. One of my mutuals was actually telling me about the spot, and they're probably the best wings I had there. Yeah, the one of the wharf, the fish and chips. Yeah, I would not recommend the fish and chip spot at all. Like if you ever were to try a fish and chip spot, you'd be better off going local to like a mom and pop shop or something. And I don't get, like I said, I don't get the hype behind this restaurant. For one, the chicken and the fish are all cooked in the same grease and oil. So if you're somebody with a shellfish allergy, you're pretty much assed out. The food was bland, didn't have any flavor to it, no seasoning. It just tasted like he just dipped the shrimp and the fish in a batter and fried it. I wouldn't go back. I don't care if it is Gordon Ramsay. I feel like the fact that your name is Gordon Ramsay and you put out mediocre food like that just speaks volumes. What other places had good food? New York, New York, that's where I'm from. New York is my hometown. I can't say anything bad about New York restaurants. New York slaps. The DMV has some really good spots. That's why I usually frequent the DMV in Philly if I want to get good food. Even though I live in Delaware now, no offense to Delaware, but the food scene in Delaware is average at best. And I know when I go back home, I'm probably going to hear about it from some of my creator friends and some of the restaurants, but the food scene is average. I come from an area where I believe culture defines food. You know, I love Mexican food, Asian food, Hispanic food, Caribbean food, Italian food, anything that has like culture, you know, soul food, a culture or a name to it. But for some reason, when you go to Delaware, it's Chick-fil-A this, it's McDonald's that, it's Burger King this. You don't really get too much of the soul or the culture in the food, and it shows. And we're one of those states that I feel like we could benefit from some of these types of restaurants and experiences. So when people say, "Oh, hey, what's in your area that you like to go to eat?" Can't really give you many recommendations. But if you want to know a spot in Philadelphia to go to, I can name a few places. If you want to know a few spots in Maryland, Virginia, the DC area, I can name some spots because culture is what it's all about. But yeah, those are some of the places that I've been to and some of the states that I've had food at. I'm trying to think of some other places that I want to go to, other states rather, but I don't really know much aside from what I've been. But if you have any recommendations that you like me to go to or have any spots that you would suggest, drop a comment and let me know. I also do know I want to go back to Houston because Texas has some of the best food I've tried also, but we've only been to Houston. I still want to go to Dallas. I still want to go to Austin, Texas. Do want to go back to Houston. Um, I can't think of any other places in that southern region that I want to try food at, but you know, that's what Google and Yelp and TikTok are for, to look up those things. But again, if you know any places that you recommend me to go eat, let me know in the comments. All right, we're hitting the 30-minute mark here. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer. I don't think I'll be heading off the live. Been seeing that people have been jumping in back and forth, and for those of you who have joined, I saw it had like 6 or 7 people who joined the live. First of all, thank you very much. I don't really do lives that often. So whether it's one person who joins a live, whether it's 100, whether it's 1,000, I like to treat everybody who comes to my lives with respect and love. So it's really appreciated that you even joined this live. I'll be doing more of these lives frequently. I feel like, like I said, I'm always in the kitchen cooking. You see me in pre-recorded content. I don't really get a chance to talk to everybody as I normally like to do. And sometimes I feel like, I don't go on live because I'll get a brain fart, or I don't know what to say, or if I say it, it doesn't come out the exact way that I want to say it. So I know that as I try to grow as a creator and a, personality on social media, I kind of have to show that. I kind of have to get over the whole funk of, what if they think I'm silly for saying this, or what if they judge me for saying that? I'm a content creator. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter what's put out there, I'm gonna get judgment regardless. But sometimes you just gotta, roll with the punches and see where things go. Drink a little bit of my milkshake. Put y'all on mute for a second because I don't want y'all to hear the gulping sounds of me slurping my milkshake. Oof, that milkshake was delicious. Hey, we got more people popping into live. What's going on? Thanks for joining. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know who you are. Come talk to me. We're just having a chat right now. We're just chilling, having a little Q&A time. Nothing too crazy, just chilling, having a conversation with my people out here. Ooh, more people are joining the live. Hello. How's it going, beautiful folk? It is 7:54 p.m. here. I'm actually just getting back from dinner and dessert. I went to this spot called Melvin's Riverside in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Really good soul food, really great customer service. I had some catfish. I had some mac and cheese. My soul food want has been satisfied. I've been craving soul food for like the past month, and I don't really eat a lot of soul food, but I've been craving it. So I feel fine that I had it now. I don't think I need to, chase that soul food itch anymore. Then I went to cook out for the first time. I had a milkshake, which when I tell you this milkshake changed my life, I am not joking. I'm not somebody who's big on sweet treats. Like, don't get me wrong, I love ice cream, I love donuts and things like that, but I don't really go out of my way to get them. I'll get them if they're offered to me, or if my wife is like, "Hey, you want to go for a sweet treat?" I'll get one. But this is something that I can see myself being like, "Hey, let's drive to Virginia to go to Cookout to get some milkshakes." Now, would she join me? I'd probably say yeah, but I don't think she would, be too happy about going out there for a milkshake unless we're doing something else afterwards. So it can't just be we're driving 4 hours for a milkshake. There has to be a purpose behind it. But we'll see. Maybe she will. Maybe one day we can take a quick road trip to Virginia, go get some milkshakes, and find something to do. See, she said correct. So I am absolutely right. So yeah, let's plan a road trip. I'm gonna go look up what the closest cookout to us is. I'm gonna try to find something for us to do in that area, and that'll be our next piece of content together. I know she wouldn't mind, and the reason why I know she wouldn't mind is because, like I said, I don't really overhype or talk too much about sweet treats. But for me to say that something is good, then that's an indicator that it's a place we have to try out. And they got 45 different flavors. Like, how do you decide what you want? I wanted the banana pudding milkshake, and that was on my mind for like the past 3 days. but I had banana pudding earlier for dessert at the restaurant that I went to. So I could not think of for the life of me when I went to the restaurant. They said, "Hey, what would you like to order?" And I just drew a blank. And I'm like, "Okay, what do they have in the menu? What do they have in the menu?" And then I saw strawberry cheesecake, and me loving strawberries and cheesecake, that was just my go-to. But I figure it's just like when you go to a restaurant and you want pizza, you don't know what pizza to get, so you get a plain slice because if they can make the plain slice right, then everything else tastes good. So I figured strawberry cheesecake is like an essential or a basic milkshake flavor that if they get that right, it has to be good. So yeah, long story short, cookout, really good milkshakes, really good vibe there. I didn't get to really try any of the food. The only thing I tried was a chili dog, and the chili dog was decent. It had that char cookout taste to it. But I might try some of the other food tomorrow, depending on how I feel. I'm supposed to go to a winery. I'm down here with my mom and my grandparents. We were thinking about going to a winery around here to pick up some wine, get some charcuterie before we head back up. And yeah, I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Question is, would I be greedy? Because I just finished my milkshake. The question is, cookout doesn't close until 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 10 minutes away from here. So like, would I be greedy if I decided to drive there now and get another milkshake for later? Mm. Mhm. I just might do that. I think it depends on how I feel. I'll give it about another hour before I decide to go back out to cookout. Mhm. I think the next time I go live is when I go back home. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Since I'm planning on going on live more often, I think I might do these on a daily cadence. I might just go on live for like a few minutes a day and just talk with you guys. And once a week, I'll go on live and cook something with you all. So yeah, I'll be doing these lives on a daily basis, just have some Q&A time, just to chit chat. If by chance, you have any recipes that you want me to cook, let me know in the comments also. You can send me messages on Instagram or Facebook. My social media pages will be in the description as well, but if you want to check them out now, it's Cooking with Pat Lee. And that's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. You can check out my website, cookingwithpatlee.com, for simple and easy recipes that you can make at home. Like I said, I'll be doing these lives on a daily basis just to have some time to talk with you all, answer any questions, just shoot the breeze. And in addition to that, once a week, I'll go on live to cook a recipe. I want to show you what goes on behind the scenes in the kitchen. I want to show you what it looks like when I make a recipe unedited, unfiltered, and uncut. If there's any recommendations for food that you have, let me know in the comments. Somebody actually approached me the other day and asked me if I can make more vegan recipes. And that is something that I feel like would be a challenge to me because I don't really make many vegan recipes, but I do like vegan food. So don't feel discouraged if you feel like there's a recipe that you want me to make for you on, my channel and you aren't too sure if I'd be comfortable making it or if I'd make it at all. Anything that you could think of, that's of course edible, I would try to make it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific cuisine. It could be a certain culture, whether it's Indian food, whether it's West Indian food, whether it's Mediterranean food. I want to cook it. I want to do it. If I've made it before, great. And if I don't, then that's perfectly fine too, because I can make all the mistakes I want and mess up, and then I can perfect it. So when you make it, you have a perfect recipe. But yeah, anything that you guys want me to make, let me know in the comments. Um, I should be back home by tomorrow afternoon. I'll go live once I go back, get back home. We can chat. Thursday, I'm thinking about what I want to make for dinner. So if I can think of anything quick, but regardless, I'm gonna go live on Thursday. But I'm trying to decide if Thursday or Friday today I want to go live and cook with you guys. So yeah, whatever you want me to try to cook, let me know in the comments. Isaac says, I love eating vegan food, but no idea how to make it either. Yeah, I feel the exact same way because, like, don't get me wrong, like, I love vegan food too. I think the closest thing I made that was vegan recently was buffalo chicken nuggets, but I use lion mane mushroom, and it tasted good. Like it didn't really taste like it had a mushroomy taste. You could tell it wasn't chicken, but it wasn't bad. But the thing is, when I make recipes, I like to make them as authentically as I possibly can. So I don't want to make something that's vegan and it has like an animal fat in it. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that it's 100% authentic and safe to consume. And appreciate the safe travels. That means a lot. But yeah, vegan food is something that I definitely want to make, not just to learn how to make it, but it's a lot of vegan food is better for you health wise, and plus I don't want to alienate my audience. That's another thing that I feel like I want to do as a chef. A lot of chefs, I wouldn't say a lot, but some chefs, they're limited to certain cuisines and certain types of food, and that's perfectly fine. You know what you know, you cook what you cook. But I'm somebody that I feel like I don't want somebody to come to my channel and they see a chicken recipe or they see a steak recipe and they go, well, I have celiac disease and I can't eat anything with gluten, or I'm a vegan and I can't eat anything with meat. I want to make sure that whatever I make is universal. So I'm gonna get better with making vegan recipes and different things, and you know, hopefully I can show those recipes sooner than later. I do have a couple in the pipeline that I'm thinking of making. But like I said, if y'all have any recommendations for me or anything that you want me to try out, drop a comment, send me a DM. That's one thing that I definitely try to respond to. And don't hold me to this because I'm pretty sure once my platform grows, I'm gonna have to find a better way to manage it. But if you send me a DM and say, "Hey, Pat, can you try to make this?" Absolutely. That's what I'm here for as a content creator and a chef. I'm here for feedback. I'm here to I'm here to cook things that you want to see. It's not just about what I want to make. It's not, just about what I want to put out there. I'm here for you all. So whatever you have, in mind, let me know in the comments, DM me if you have any recipe suggestions or if you have any, techniques that you want to share. If you think there's something that I'm doing wrong in the kitchen, by all means comment it. That doesn't mean, come to my page and troll. Like there was one time when I was cooking a recipe and it was the first time I made a recipe. I forgot what the recipe was, but someone had told me that the temperature I had was too high. And when they made the recipe, this was like four years ago or so, that they told me that the recipe that they made, the temperature was a little bit too high and they had to like dial the temperature down to like get it to cook properly. I don't take offense to that. You know what I call that? That's a learning opportunity because everybody's perfect. I may have learned something one way. Somebody may come along and say, well, you know what? This works out a little bit better. And you know what I do? I try it out for myself. I'll go back to that comment or go back to that person. I'll say, hey, thank you for the tip. I learned something. And that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of chefs should do, or even content creators should do in general, is that we have to get better at taking criticism and not taking offense to it. Like, yeah, like I said, there's trolls out there who come on social media with the intent to insult you or to make fun of you. But there are good-hearted people out there who just want to give advice and help to make your content and make what you do a little bit better. Like I said, like I cook recipes, and in the past, I've had recipes that may have not worked out to the best of my ability, but there's somebody who comes in the comments and goes, "Hey, this is what I did to improve that recipe." And I take that criticism and I apply it to my own cooking because as a chef, if you're not there to learn, how can you become a better cook? How can you become a better chef if you're not willing to take advice? So yeah, don't be afraid to say, you altered a recipe of mine, or don't be afraid to say that you made a slight tweak or change and it came out better. Like I say in my videos, it's your preference, it's your prerogative. I'm just here to help you make your food taste better. But anyway, with that being said, it's about 8:06 my time. Um, I'm about to head off, go do some editing. I actually have a couple of videos that I'm working on to edit. One is the food festival that I had mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm editing that, trying to get it up by tonight, but if not, it'll go up first thing in the morning. And then the second video that I have to edit is my review of Melvin's Riverside and Fayetteville and Cookout. Um, I know people have asked about my opinion about Cookout, so definitely tune in for that. Thank you so much for everybody who joined and participated in the live. It means the world to me. I'm here, like I said, to make sure that you have quick and easy recipes that you and anybody can make at home. I try to make things affordable. I try to make things approachable. I even put the grocery list and the price in my recipes just so you can kind of have something to relate to. But yeah, that's the kind of content that I put out there. So once again, thank you for joining the live. Come back tomorrow. I'll be on live again. I say this all the time. Make sure you follow me for great recipes, food reviews, and lives. And until the next time we feast, peace, one love, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.